Welcome to this quick demo on how to create messaging spaces in the Webex app, allowing you to collaborate with anyone at any time and keep work flowing in between meetings. We'll talk about direct messaging and group spaces. Let's get started. Here you can see my Webex app, and for reference, I'm signed onto my desktop and I'm using a PC. So let's mosey on up to the top of our screen. We're going to locate this plus button. And our first option is to send a direct message. Direct messaging spaces are those that you want to create with just yourself and one other person. So maybe a manager, a colleague, a friend, anyone that you want to collaborate with one-on-one, choose the option to send a direct message. Now you'll see I have a search bar to search for a person by name or email. If I know that person is within my organization, all I have to do is start typing their name, locate the right person, and select them to start that space right away. So I'll go ahead and do that with Caroline. As soon as I click her name, there you go. I've started a new conversation. And as soon as I send that first message, Caroline can join in on the conversation as well. It's really that easy. But remember I said you can also have a direct message with someone who's outside of your organization, so let's take a look at how that's done. Back on up to our plus button this time. Once again, choose the option to send a direct message. And this time, I'll type in the person's email address. And you'll now see I have a blue button to invite them to Webex. Bob will receive an email, which will provide him with a link to download the Webex app, and the conversation can begin. Creating a group space is just as easy as a direct message. You can probably guess it, but let's go back on up to our plus button. But this time, we'll select Create a Space. And remember, a space is going to be not just you and one other person, but more people. You'll notice the only difference here is that it wants me to name the space, and this is to differentiate between those direct messages and those group spaces. So choose a name, and then once again use your search bar to add people by name or by email address. Now once I have everyone added here, I'll come on down to this blue button and select Create, and our conversation can begin. Now before we go, I just want you to take a look at the left-hand side of my screen at all of the spaces I've either created or I've been invited to. Here is my list. I can also separate these into tabs for direct messages and group spaces. Okay, we made it to best practices, and I have 2 tips on this topic. First, you gotta keep them separated. You can use your filter button to separate those direct messages and group spaces into those tabs that I showed you. I find this really helpful to keep myself organized. My second best practice tip is to stop manually typing in email addresses when adding a large group of people to a space. Simply copy and paste up to 30 people from your email application. Woohoo! Okay, thanks for watching, and be sure to check out our other quick demos right here at golearn.webex.com.